I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to call the December 18th, 2025 City Council Lake Harbor City meeting to order. In compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act of the state of New Jersey, adequate notice of this meeting of Common Council was provided in the following manner. Advance written notice was posted on the Lake Harbor City Bulletin Board. It was noticed on the Lake Harbor City website and also in the Hamilton Gazette and the Atlantic City Press. Like to call for roll call, please.
Mayor Jim Petty. Here. Clark. Here. Dak.
Here.
Dovey.
Here.
Galloway. Here. Heist. Here. Hesse. Here. Keener.
Yes.
Timbers.
Here.
Right.
Here.
Okay, number 4 is our mayor's presentation of awards.
So.
So I'm gonna let the chief talk a little bit about the award and the events leading to the award. And I would just like to say, thank you very much for your service and the award the life safety and life safety award. If you can to go over there. So we let you talk about that.
So, many of you may remember October 13th, we, had a pretty big storm, lots of floodwaters. Lower Bank Road is notorious for being flooded. We had already put cones and barriers out to make sure that nobody drove down the 2-mile stretch. Somebody decided that they needed to do that and subsequently got stuck. The person who was in the vehicle could not swim. So Sergeant Mangle, in all of his duty gear, waded through at least the waist of the water. Yes. For I don't know exactly how long the distance. Body worn camera made it look like it was a very, very long distance. What would you say? Sorry.
Thousands of feet, maybe.
Okay, how many yards? 400 yards. Cold water. In the middle of the night. It was dark. But this is something that I'm not surprised by. Sergeant Mangle, it does always go above and beyond. And she went through the water and showed extreme patience in dealing with a gentleman who was panicking. You know, if you've ever dealt with anybody who's in a situation where they are fearing for their lives, not necessarily the most coherent, not necessarily the most cooperative, but Sergeant Mangle was able to talk him down and was able to get him to safety. There was also a Good Samaritan who had a lifted truck who did wind up picking them up and driving them back.
I don't know if I would make.
But so for heroism, you demonstrated in risking your own life to rescue a motorist stranded in violent floodwaters on the Lower Bank Road on October 18th. Mayor Jean Penny would like to present you with this. Present you with this life-saving award.
So we'll try to have the good parent and it was helpful to find.
Anything else? Okay, number 5 on our agenda is approved minutes November 13th, 2025.
Make a motion.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any questions on the minutes? All in favor? Opposed? Motion passes. Number 6 is public comment for any agenda items excluding the ones listed for public hearings. Mr. Herman?
I would like to make comments on item number 25, which is the resolution including the demolition of the against certain properties in the city of Oklahoma City. Good morning, Mayor, Council, employees, residents. Most of these probably know me. Those of you who don't, my name is Mark Emmer. I'm an attorney in East Harbor City. I've been an attorney here for 24 years now. Lifelong resident of town. I moved out several years ago. I'm still with us here. The reason that I'm here tonight is I represent Tom Oddie and Rose Leafy, who I believe the properties that they're talking about in the resolution, although they're not named, and please correct me anybody if I'm wrong, was is 256 Sixth Terrace, 27 Cincinnati Avenue, 29 Cincinnati Avenue, and 240 New York. Is that correct? Were they in? Can somebody, is that related?
That sounds right.
That's what we're talking about. What I'd like to do is just give you an idea of where we're at, where we got, how we got to be where we're at tonight, and then give you an idea of where we're at with trying to take care of these locations. On August 18th, 2025, Mr. Oddie and Ms. Leafy received notices of violation and orders to terminate unsafe structures under section 2:32A on the below listed properties: 128 Philadelphia Avenue, 256 Sixth Terrace, 227 Cincinnati Avenue, 229 Cincinnati Avenue, and 240 New York Avenue, 5 structures. The notice stated the following: all buildings or structures that shall become unsafe or unsanitary or that contain deficient or blocked exitway facilities or which constitute a fire hazard or are otherwise dangerous to human life or the public welfare, or that by reason of illegal or improper use or occupancy shall be deemed unsafe buildings or structures, shall be taken down and removed or made safe and secure. A vacant building that is unguarded or open at the door or windows shall be deemed a fire hazard and unsafe within the meaning of the statute. The compliance date for these were September 15, 2025, a period of 26 days later. They asked us to look at, repair, evaluate, get the professionals in line, and get the work done on 6 buildings in 26 days. We then contacted code enforcement because the question was, what does it take to make the building safe again? The notices said we could make them safe rather than tear them down. So we inquired as to what does it mean to make them safe. The first place we inquired, of course, was we went to code enforcement, and we asked some of the individuals in code enforcement, what does it mean according to the statute to make it safe? And the answer we got was, I have no idea what it means. They told us to contact the construction official with Rich Saunders, and he would guide us on what we should do. So we did what they said. We got a hold of Rich Saunders, and we asked him, Rich, what do we have to do to make these buildings safe, or do we have to tear down, or what do we have to do? And he said that what we had to do was that we had to first secure a architect, have the architect look at the buildings, have the architect do a drawing of what had to be done to either fix the buildings if they could be fixed, or if they couldn't be fixed, tell us that they're unsafe, and then we would have to make a move to demolish them or whatever we were going to do. Once we got the drawing, we were to take the drawing to code enforcement. We would give the drawing and the paperwork to code enforcement, and they would give us, if it was proper, they would give us a building permit, allowing us to do whatever repair we had to do on the structures. So knowing that that's what he wanted us to do, the first thing that we did was we secured the services of Benjamin Risley, who is a professional architect. Most of us know Ben. He's from Egg Harbor. We wanted to use somebody local if we could use it rather than have the business go out of town to some foreigner from out of town. So Ben started right away. And the first one that he looked at was New York Avenue. He went to New York Avenue. He did his review of New York Avenue, drew the paperwork up. He brought the paperwork to code enforcement, and the buildings department recently, very recently, gave us a building permit saying, here's what you have to do to repair the building. So being that we got a building permit, we were under the impression that, okay, we don't have to tear it down. We have to just follow the guidelines that are of the architects work. We contacted Dario Block, another local businessman. Dario is a builder and a construction guy. He looked at, he drew up what he had to draw. He helped us get the permit, and the permit was drawn. At the same time we were doing that, we were in negotiations with Vision Equity, which is an equity firm out of Ventnor, New Jersey, who wanted to buy the property. We have entered into a fully executed agreement with Vision Equity to purchase the property at 240 New York Avenue. They sent their paperwork to their title agency. The title work has been done. We were initially going to close at the end of October. Vision Equity had a problem with that, and now they have the closing scheduled for the building on December 28th. That the building will be sold and go into the hands of Vision Equity. So two things with that building: we had a building permit, which the city gave us to. It's okay first to fix it if we decide to fix it, and then on the other hand, we have a signed agreement of sale, which we hope that we do. We would rather sell it at this point rather than tear it down. So I think that explains where we're at with 240, and I don't see a need for the city to move forward to try to tear it down when we have an agreement of sale and we have a building permit signed by the city that says you can fix it, you don't have to tear it down. So that takes care of 240. At the same time, we drew a permit for 128 Philadelphia Avenue. 128 Philadelphia Avenue was the building that a car backed into, broke the two plate glass windows in it. We boarded the building up. We boarded the two windows up the same way Weisbecker Cleaners was boarded up for years and years and years. But we were told that we couldn't keep it boarded up, that we had to fix it. So again, we hired Dario Block. Dario did what he had to do, draw up the papers he had to do. Dario went. We drew another permit, a building permit from the city to fix it. And Dario began the repairs on it, fixed it, put the windows in.
I don't think.
Mark, not to interrupt you, but that property's not ours. It's 227 Cincinnati, 229 Cincinnati, 256 Sixth Terrace, and 240 New York.
I understand that. The reason I'm renaming that building is just to, hopefully you'll understand it at the end, is it was one of the 5 buildings that we were given a notices on that we had to take action. So we tried to take action on the ones that we could do the quickest and get the work done on them and get the buildings back to where they were. So then that brings us to 1658. That was another building, 1658. I know it's not one of these, but hopefully you'll understand it at the end. 1658 was a building that had a house on it. We demolished the house. We got permits. We demolished the house, but the foundation wasn't filled in. Foundation was deep and it was left open. So we were told that we knew we had to build it was unsafe and we had to fill the basement in. So we had to empty the basement first. We filled it with dirt and now that's up to ground level. At the same time, Mr. Saunders looked at the building that's there. It's like a barn, and he noticed that it had holes in the roof. So we contacted Dario Block again. Dario got a permit for it, again a permit, and fix the repair work on the roof. So as we started moving through this, we're getting permits for every building that we're supposed to get, but these things take time. Weather's bad, we can't get permits just immediately. And while we were doing this, we sent at the end of September, we sent a letter to Rich Saunders, bringing him up to speed on what we were doing. And because it was only 26 days to fix them all, and we knew we couldn't reach that deadline, we asked him for at least a 30-day extension. That's what we asked for in the letter today. We sent him the letter. I know he received the letter. We were never notified, no, you can't have the extension. We were never notified, yes, you can have the extension. Not being notified that we can't, we took it for, he was allowing us to continue on the work that we were doing to try to straighten out all of the properties. Then we come to 227, 229 Cincinnati Avenue. For some time, well before these notices were sent out, we were in negotiation with a group, the Patels, who I think most of you are familiar with. He was going to buy all of Mr. Otti's properties. He was going to buy 227, he was going to buy 229. They were contingent upon him selling certain properties he had in another location and using that money then to purchase these. We dealt with him for about a month or so trying to get the deal through. He was never able to sell the other buildings. That deal fell through. Shortly after that deal fell through, we started negotiating again with Vishal Patel and his cousin. They wanted to buy 227, 229, and 240. Again, negotiations went on for a short period of time. At the end of the day, we couldn't reach an agreement with them. That one fell through. Finally, we got in touch with Vision Equity from Ventnor, who wanted to buy all three of them. Vision Equity went out and looked at them. After looking at all three properties, they decided the only one that they wanted to purchase was 240 New York Avenue, which is the one that we're in the process, he's in the process of purchasing now. After we realized that 227 and 229 was in such bad shape it wasn't going to sell, the decision was made to tear it down. What do we need to tear down 229 and 227 Philadelphia Avenue? We could just wait, allow the city to tear it down at the cost of the taxpayers, and then leave the property, and then we would have to pay the city back. That could be done. Instead, what we did was we contacted West Star Construction, again, a local area businessman that tears buildings down. But a building can't just be torn down. If a building's over 50 years old, and where we're at, which is the Pinelands, we have to send a request for demolition to the Pinelands Committee and Commission, and we have to wait for them to reply back to us and say it's okay to apply for a permit to tear these buildings down. We have done that on both 227 and 229. We're awaiting Pineland permits to get back to us, and then we would be able to start tearing them down.
Mark, is that Chicago? I mean Cincinnati, I don't mean to interrupt you.
Cincinnati.
Yeah, because I not to interrupt you, but I was told by Steve Hadley like 2 years ago that you applied for Pinelands, but I never heard if you got it or not.
No, we didn't apply for 227 and 229. We applied for 1658, and we applied for 236 Philadelphia Avenue. That's the Burger Pub. Because I'll just mention that briefly. We're going to tear that down
But do
too.
you have the Pinelands certificate?
No, we sent them out.
Cincinnati.
We've sent the paperwork out to Pinelands. We're waiting for them to return it to us and say it's okay.
That's Cincinnati,
Well, yeah, that's the two ones Cincinnati.
because that's the one that Steve told me you were working on that like 2 years ago, because this has been a long.
Well, I don't know what Steve told you, but I'm telling you what we did. I'm telling you what we did. So we also, in order to tear it down, you have to get a disconnect from the gas company, from South Jersey Gas, and you have to get a disconnect from the Atlantic Electric, and you have to get a disconnect from, it used to be Egg Harbor City's water department. Now it's going to be American Water. We've sent for the disconnect to South Jersey Gas for both buildings. We've sent for the disconnects to Atlantic Electric for both of them. And we received the disconnects from the Egg Harbor City from, what's her name, Laura? Because when we checked with American Water, they said, we don't have any record of anything at those locations. So then we went to Laura, and she had everything right there where the meters have been disconnected and the water's been disconnected already from them too. So all we're waiting on is the gas company and Atlantic Electric. And then once we get the disconnect from them too, and we get the report back from Pinelands Commission, which we hope is very shortly, West Star is just waiting for those documents, and then they're gonna come in. And we, Tom Otti and his wife, are gonna pay to have them buildings torn down. In addition to them two buildings, we're tearing down the Burger Pub. on Philadelphia Avenue. So we'll have those 3 buildings gone as soon as we get these documents back. Westar's just waiting for me to call them and say, here, Cody, here's the documents. Then my understanding is they bring them documents to the city and present them to the city, and then the city gives them a demolition permit from Egg Harbor City, and that gives them the okay to go tear them buildings down. That's,
Were there any copies sent to the city as far as the Pinelands, that you sent anything to the Pinelands?
no, there's not. I can,
Would you please?
I can have them to you tomorrow. If I can make copies, I have with,
I would
but
appreciate.
I can get all of them requests to you first thing coming at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. I mean, if you want, I can get them to you, and I can get the signed agreement of sale for 240. That we have a signed agreement of sale with Vision Equity. I can produce them for you, that if you know, if that's something that you would like. But
Because
what I'm getting at is we will tear them now. We're in a position we're ready. And I know you know, you say you've heard this before. All I'm waiting on is them documents from the Pinelands Gas Company and the electric company. We've already talked to Westar. I can't see why. After I'm telling you that we're ready to tear them 3 buildings down, that the city would say, no, we want to tear them down. We don't want you to tear.
Well, Mr. Emmer, I would have to say, kind of follow up on Ms. Hesse's comment that this has been going on for a long time. It's not just September. They were noticed on the conditions of these properties. The roof in that one building has caved in 250 years ago.
We're in that, that's the one that we're gonna fix.
And when we came into office, one of the things we planned to do was try to clean the town. And you and I have had that conversation many times. And in this case, it's been dragging out. Not you personally, but the client. And it's horrendous to see that property the way it is. And I think what we're trying to do from a code department, I'll call on our administrator to talk more in detail, but what we're trying to do is clean up the town. And one of the things, and those properties that have been identified, tear them down. Because they've been deemed unsafe, and it's an eyesore on our town, and it's very. The residents, if I was a resident across the street there, I'd be very upset. For not just since September, for way longer than that. And we're talking about these 4 properties in particular. So, Barry, can you elaborate more on what I'm trying to
So
say?
just let me mention one thing.
Okay,
You're saying that they were deemed unsafe. We have something that says they were unsafe. We have no documentation from an architect or anybody, any builder or any professional that says they're unsafe.
They're all signed by Rich Saunders, who's certified in the state of New Jersey as a construction official.
Okay,
They're all signed by him,
and
and he's authorized to sign and deem buildings unsafe. But I'm gonna be very careful in what I say, because obviously Mr. Adi and Ms. Levy have sent their lawyer here. But I would recommend that you table this resolution, because it's just a resolution. And when Mr. Emmer produces all the paperwork that he's put on the record tonight, that he has, then we can reconsider this at the January 15th meeting. If all of that paperwork is produced, if the permit application is in, if the
disconnect.
sale, the disconnect, all of that, if the estimate of the demolition that you have from this contractor.
He's agreed to demolish him.
Right.
I may be able to get I'm sure I can get something from him saying that once we get the permits, he will demolish the buildings.
So he should produce all of this information that he's put on the record tonight, and then bring it back. If maybe we don't have to bring it back, maybe it's all going to be done like it needs to be done. But if not, then it's going to come back, and I'm going to be able to say to the council, I didn't get any paperwork, I didn't get this paperwork, I didn't get that paperwork. It's
And you
really only a
understand, we're not
3-week.
talking about, I'll touch briefly on 236, we're not tearing down, that's gonna be repaired, and we'll be able to get in the next couple days.
It's not on the resolution.
No, it's not?
No.
Oh, okay.
so let's do more that we
What's the
can.
address on 230?
240 227.
The warehouse and the terrace.
And which is, and that's what I mean, the terrace,
Mhm.
warehouse and the terrace. The
256 Sixth Terrace.
yeah, the architect is doing his work on that. Because he hasn't finished that one.
So you can get that paperwork to us quickly.
It may take me a couple of days to get the architect finished work. Because he did a preliminary inspection on it, but he has to get inside and finish his work, but I'll get that done ASAP. But all of the other documents I can bring to Jerry or to Meg or to everybody.
Rich Saunders.
I can put them together tomorrow morning.
Rich Saunders needs.
He's not here all the time.
And just,
so.
just another comment, you and I have had conversations about this personally, and I did say, we're not in the business of tearing properties down. And if Mr. Adi and Rose are planning to tear it down, and we can document everything as our
He said that he has the
administrators
documents
request.
already, so it's great. It's great.
I have the letters that went out and I'm just waiting for the returns to come back.
And the application to finance, he has a copy of that he can
Yeah.
provide to us. He can provide the emails or letters of disconnect to us so that it shows this council that things are being done. And we can have a discussion at the next.
Can I ask a question? How soon after producing these documents can you tear those buildings down?
When producing the documents, I can't tell you that. I have to wait for Highlands to send the.
Okay, so you're still waiting for
Oh,
some.
yeah, we
clear.
don't have any of the authorizations yet.
Okay.
We've sent out to the Atlantic Electric, they're in finance saying, here's the disconnect, this is what we want to do, this is the building, it's over 50 years old, we had to send pictures of for the finance permit, you needed 2 pictures, we could send pictures of it, we got all that done. Well, we're waiting for it, and I know Joe had asked me about, timelines, can you give me dates? I can't give you dates because I don't know when the returns are coming. I can tell you that according to Westar, as soon as we get the authorization signed, they're ready to go.
So once the Pinelands gives you the authorization, how long after?
Again, I can't tell you that because
What
once
else?
finance gives me it, I need the disconnect from the gas company, I need the disconnect.
Excuse me, should that be long, Brian? How long do they give you the, does it take the disconnect for that?
It could be, it could be a while.
Could it?
Sometimes it's.
It depends.
No, it wouldn't be more than,
Right.
if it was more than.
And,
Okay,
and I
so-
can tell you this, I'll be on the phone with them every day, saying, where's the disconnect, because.
Utilities are the worst.
As much as the council and professionals want to get this done, I want to get it done just as quick, because I have this much paperwork in my office of other things to do, so all of us, I think, the quicker we get it done, the happier we all are.
And I just want to say, I mean, we would have added Catherine's to it had it not have gotten knocked down, because that was another one that he had,
So we
through the years.
We're kids driving through the building and
Unfortunately,
tearing it down.
For him, but yeah.
Hopefully he didn't get hurt.
And you have to cut your thing short, but
You
we
can.
we can go to number 25 right now. Is there,
I have
based
a
on,
question now.
Yeah, I have a.
Thank you, Joe. I know.
Can I ask one more question?
Sure.
240 New York Avenue, you said that was under contract?
Yeah, it's gonna be sold. Closing is right now that we feel very, very sure. Closing is at least December 28th, because there's some kind of tax implications
Mhm.
that if the equity firm sells it in 2025, or buys it in 2025 rather than 26.
Save on the taxes.
Type of Tax.
Yeah.
Thing that they get.
And that's Vision Equity, is that what you said? And what are they planning on doing?
I have no idea.
His name. The violation goes to the new owner.
Oh,
State law
okay.
requires the violation go to the new owner. It just doesn't dissolve.
Right.
Because Mr. Audio or Ms. Leakey sells it, it
Mhm.
goes to the new owner and then they have to resolve it.
Right,
So-
they'll pull the permit and they'll do what they have to do to redo it. His
So-
name, the gentleman that I'm dealing with, it, I believe is the owner, I'm gonna kill his last name, Gavin Guglielmi, but it's Vision Equity out of Ventnor, New Jersey. Is the company of mine.
And is he aware
Oh,
that there is this issue with the city?
He has to be legally.
I just want to make sure.
Ryan, can I answer a question?
don't call.
So for something like this, if the city declares a property as an imminent hazard, does the city have to go to Pinelands, or can the city, based upon that declaration, move forward?
So you do have to go to the Pinelands, but based on prior consultations we've had with them, if they're the last thing that's outstanding and all the utility disconnects are done, I would move forward with demolition. They have told us on numerous occasions, if you have a structure that is a public, threat to the public health, safety, or welfare, to move forward with the demolition process, be permitted.
That's what they did with 111 when that caller went through 111. They told me tear it down and send me the permit later.
Exactly. So if that becomes the last outstanding thing, they're behind everything. That's the last thing.
And believe me, as soon as I get the permits, if I don't have Pinelands my next call saying, hey, it's an unsafe structure and I have all the permits ready.
Okay, the administrator is recommending that we table this. Is there?
I'll make a motion to table.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, all in favor? Opposed? Motion tabled.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. And if I don't see you, have a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Same to you.
Yeah.
Mr. Coleman.
Hi, Mayor and Council, Glenn Foreman, Steve, on the agenda, on the board. Hi, Betty, what you're approving and what you're approving.
But not to cut you short, but we're planning on tabling now on this. So that there could be more discussion with the potential tellers.
I need a contract, I'm not contract.
Well, there's one of our plans on that also is to extend, and we're gonna present that to council very soon. Extend the existing contract month to month until we have a new resolution.
Well, you have a resolution, you approved it on the contract, this. Admitted on October 17th, and it was. Approved. 16th and 17th.
Towing ordinance?
We never.
No.
The ordinance was approved, the contracts were not.
Oh. Right, so, what do we wait for? We have an ordinance.
The contracts would identify the actual tellers, and that's what we're gonna table, so that there can be discussion with the potential tellers.
What? No.
They're by application.
Mhm.
There can't be by application because the deadline was October 1, and you have 2 applications in.
They were
Yeah, the ordinance was changed after the deadline of October 1. How does that happen?
Can you come up to the microphone so we know who you are? I can hear you. Thank you, appreciate it.
My name is Patrick Aiken. I'm one of the owners of A&A Towing, also work in the city as a police officer, so I'm not a stranger to the city. Recently, me and Mr. Foreman here have decided to redevelop the property at Foreman's Auto Body.
It's not that, we did have a demolition permit, we did.
Yeah, but anyway.
Mr. Emmer there, it is a little bit of a hassle, so he is doing his work, he's not lying to you.
But can we just say we're the clerk's office that take in the applications? There's more than 2.
But why would there be more than 2 if there's only 2 lots in the city?
Because the ordinance, you're saying that.
The ordinance changed after, and I really don't like to do this, but I have to, but I think the council needs to know this. You have a teller, Highway Motors, that you want to extend his contract. He has been towing cars outside of your city for probably several years now. He's been in violation of the code of the city for 14 years. Mr. John Coyle, who owns Cornell's Auto Body, the lot he made the deal with, where his license sits. So not only has he been falsifying documents for years, he's been lying to the city and saying he's towing the cars here to the city, and in fact, they're going to Galway. I think that needs to be addressed. And if the man has, unfortunately, I don't have anything against him, this is business, and it's fair is fair, and if you qualify, you qualify. I just can't. You don't, and that's the way it works. And I think it needs to be looked at. Unfortunately, you have a person that sits on your zoning board now that has been falsifying an application for 10 years. And you guys I don't think you should extend any contract. But you do have 2 contracts right now for the city to continue their towing services. One being Foreman's, which has been here for 8+ years. I have been in business for 30 years. I also own a company called Courthouse Towing. We do the Parkway Expressway. We have 45 trucks. I have enough equipment that you don't have to call Vanellini in when you get a rollover on a tractor trailer. If it goes to a house, if it doesn't happen, we can respond within 20 minutes, and we are all certified. And we carry a lot of insurance. I think that's what the city needs. You don't hire people in your town just because they say they can do the job. You hire them, they have the qualifications, they make applications, and they qualify. And that's where you're at. So you have the 2 towers that can handle your city 24/7, just as Mr. Foreman has done it for years. I've done it for years. And I just think that there's an unfair thing here. And I think it just needs to be, the ordinance
you know, October 1 was your deadline for your towing applications. They were in, 2 of them. That day, he can speak for himself, got a phone call from Keith asking, oh, I just want to drop my application off and Pat's gonna use your lot. And now all of a sudden, October 16th, we get a resolution to change the ordinance to let it within 5 miles of the city. You have to think about that. 5 miles of the city opens it up to like 6 companies. You don't know who those companies are. Yeah, and you know who he is. So if you just wanted to extend his contract and let him continue to tow, I'm okay with that too. But you don't know these people from Adam. You don't know who they are. You don't know their qualifications, their equipment. Are they gonna be able to respond in a timely manner? Are they gonna be able to clear the highways in a professional manner that doesn't leave the city liable? Because ultimately, if something bad happens, the city may be liable at some point. They could be. So that's just my.
Non-taxpayers of it.
And we're also now taxpayers.
He's the taxpayer.
The guy, you know, purchased the property there, and like I said, we're gonna develop it, so, you know.
Okay, I appreciate you bringing that to our attention at this
You know,
point.
we have to.
However, I don't-
Right.
I don't,
The contract, extended the thing is, our contracts were before deadline. So our.
But you can't extend a current contract that somebody is not.
The other thing is what you turned in doesn't have correct information either.
What's not the correct information?
Well, what we're.
Well, like when you apply, you put your principal address is gonna be 224 Buffalo, so is that where you're gonna be?
Yeah.
Okay,
That's you have 2 contracts there. You have A&H.
we have 4 contracts that we got.
Yeah, but as of October.
You don't decide if they're not good. The chief does, and
Ma'am, I do decide, because if your ordinance says the deadline is October 1 and we turn ours in and somebody makes a phone call to somebody and then this whole thing unravels to get other people in, that's wrong. And if we have to really dig into this, we can. It's telling, this is a free service to the city of Egg Harbor City.
With $3
I have
million.
I have $1 million of equipment that I give to the city and say, hey, if something happens, I'm gonna use it. You don't have to put fuel in it, you don't insure it, you don't have to operate it, nothing. And then I have millions of dollars in insurance, so if something, God forbid, goes wrong, you're still not liable. And if we get to the point where my insurance gets used up and they come after the city, I don't know what happened. So these are the things that I kind of had a feeling the whole council didn't know what was going on, and I'm glad that you do now. And I think that if you push forward these contracts for these other companies that had no right to even apply, because up until now, they did as of October 16th, after somebody wasn't gonna get on the rotation, which I find to be very, you know.
Patrick, can I ask you?
Yeah, sure.
So the 224 Buffalo, that's what you just purchased, you said you know?
No,
He
That's all.
So you're gonna vote?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna.
No, he's Foreman's town.
World 2
okay, again, I thank you guys for coming and bringing this up.
You look at the dates, a little unethical, that our contracts were in, then everything gets pushed till, October 6th to a meeting and it gets, read November 13th, and then approved on the 19th.
What would be emergency? Like what happened? Like,
There is no
there's
emergency. So-
this would be an emergency, like.
One thing that I want to say is, we can sit here and talk about it all night, but we need legal opinions. We need to look at this a lot closer, and we need time to do that. So I'll ask for this resolution to be tabled. And we'll talk about whether, what we have to do to maybe a special meeting. I don't know if that's gonna
Well, the
happen,
problem is, the one tower you have on the rotation needs to be removed immediately. He's not in compliance.
but we'll get our legal opinion about that.
Well, I'm just saying, he has to go parts of the city of Egg Harbor City under the old ordinance, which is the old
Understood.
contract, and they're not being towed to Mr. Hoyle's lot, which is on Buffalo Ave.
Okay.
That's gonna be something that has to be handled.
And he's gonna improve the building. He's got, $3 million into the clubs. It's not like a small operation like that. And it's gonna be an asset to the city. The city sent me a paper that said they're having a thing at Thomasville Winery. Businesses that need businesses to keep it local. What you're doing is showing people away.
That's not the intent, Glenn.
Well,
You know, we're-
listen, Joe, I know you're just speaking to this Janine, but everybody else. Why would one of somebody like some. $1 million, up to $500 million, and have this, livelihood go to out of town. And like after 30 years, never had a complaint, there's nothing me and Keith couldn't handle. And never had a lawsuit with phone companies or anything like that. And me and Keith work together. So it's to have this little backdoor ethic thing get kicked in there. I was never notified. Sure, that's how we be notified before you do an ordinance. Or, you know, who's the professional?
Changing the-
Yeah, that's another legal opinion. Would you say that, Mike? Nick, when we do an ordinance, if we have towers on the towing list, is it required for the city to notify them that we're changing the ordinance?
I mean, as long as it's publicly, there's public notice provided, then, you know, we don't have to specifically go and reach out to every single company.
Well,
You know, it's
10
public
10
bidding.
minutes when the application got handed in, Mr. Coyle, he phoned me. It's an application, so let's do it.
Wait, I'm sorry, could you repeat something?
What?
I didn't hear you. Wait,
Oh,
could you just repeat that?
his application went in.
Uh-huh.
Minutes later, Mr. Coyle gets a call that, what are you doing? Getting right near your yard.
Well,
He was using the yard,
Yeah.
but he wasn't using.
I don't follow it at all. I don't understand the building. I don't understand,
We
all
have
that
a
stuff.
community in Egg Harbor City.
You're what?
You're all here for the same reason.
Yes.
I'm here for the same reason. I'm a business owner. The success of my business owner obviously are the people within the town, the fine council, the whole 9 yards. That's how I survive. If you give the business to someone else, me, the taxpayer in the community, doesn't get the benefit from that anymore.
So did you know that he was using your
I
yard?
did, and I
Okay, so-
covered on several occasions, and
Did you bring that to anybody's attention? Here,
I brought it to Mr. Molyneux's attention. and
I'm
he-
talking about
He
from
chose
our side.
not to. Well, the police actually are given releases, and the releases that they're given obviously are given that gentleman's address. Because the people go to pick their cars up there. So obviously, you guys knew.
But he used your address. So
He
you were,
used my
you were
address.
part of it.
So on the
I was not-
application,
so you would-
which they have
you
right
were-
there, the address.
You-
I was part of obtaining the license for him.
Right.
He did tell me to, oh yeah, we're not telling anything.
And up to date, it's been 88 tows.
Because I didn't receive the phone call stating that there was a car that needed to be picked up. But originally, when the towing went down, the people were supposed to actually bring the releases to 224 Buffalo Avenue and stuff like that. And
Well, I'll say from here that we want to be fair and we want to be legal. So we need to find out what that is and sort all this out. And we'll do that as quickly as we
So
can.
when will we know? So then you're gonna table the actual awarding of any contracts, even if it would be just 2 contracts for the new year.
We're not going to take any action on that.
Right.
We do, if it goes past the first of the year, we're just going to extend what we have for a month. Just to give us
You
time.
can't extend
to
it if you
review.
want because he doesn't comply.
Well, we'll get a legal opinion.
Who are we saying doesn't comply? What was?
Highway name.
Highway?
He's supposed to tow cars to 224 Buffalo Avenue in the city. As the ordinance, the original ordinance states, all vehicles must be towed. Your lot location must be located in the city of Egg Harbor City.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
224 Buffalo is Cornell Auto Body.
Yes,
Yes.
That's a tow lot,
yes.
we,
As well.
and you're allowed to store vehicles there?
It is. It's always been.
Always been.
since
And are there limits on how many vehicles you could put in there? No?
As long as it's within the
As long
gate,
as you gotta
there's-
squeeze, you could squeeze one in, you'll
Once you put
squeeze
them in
one
there,
in.
you're not
Is that
gonna-
the way-
There's room in the yard.
Okay, all right, I just, because I live on Buffalo Avenue, I didn't know it was a tow lot.
So
I thought it was just.
good.
So we've done a great job.
You've done work on my cars.
My whole thing isn't to give somebody a hard time. My whole thing, it is, I know it may not sound like it, but it's to keep the business within the city. The
Yeah.
business needs to be kept within the people who pay taxes here. Egg Harbor City people are the greatest people in the world. They are the most loyal people in the world, and I get the same customers again and again and again. Billy Cornell built a fantastic business. And we've all lived off of it in my shop. I've paid my guys for years. I've owned it for 20 years. We don't want to
And you know
give it
what?
to somebody in another area.
We appreciate that and
Just
let's
so
get
this
off
works, that
topic
you
right
understand how this work is, so the object is he has a body shop.
Understood.
Accident cars that happened in Egg Harbor City, if they went to his shop, he had the opportunity, because the car was there, to get the job. So that was his benefit to it, and I don't think it was like this is a greedy, like money thing. He just wanted the wreck so he could keep his business.
Well,
going.
you get access to it.
And and if you have access to the car, you have a better chance of getting the job and them sending it to another body shop. Which keeps his business alive.
again, we want to be fair.
You're correct. I should have probably called the police department and told him what he was doing. But I don't believe in doing that to a fellow community member. I mean, he lives here. I don't believe in doing that. That's not the way I live my life.
Again, we want to be fair, we want to be legal.
Can we
So-
be notified? Make sure.
But I think, we can have a meeting to discuss it, and you can be at that meeting, so.
I wish we would have had this before this problem would come about.
We need both.
Yeah.
There's been
Sorry
2
about
hours.
Well, again, thank you for bringing it to our attention.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Councilman.
So thank you. Can I ask the chief a question or somebody? My question was, and Chief, you and I spoke about this,
Yes.
the ordinance, what is the date? The date? They had to turn in their paperwork on the 1st,
October first, he said.
and when did we change the ordinance?
You just introduced it when,
So
September?
it's introduced in October.
Yeah.
Okay.
This has been something that
Voted on it when you weren't here.
Could you come up to my? There's been talk for a while that, the tow, that both of our tow contractors were potentially selling or retiring. So instead of waiting for that, when it was like, oh, the tow contracts are coming up, the first tow contract that actually was submitted was by Citywide. So at that point in time, the clerk's office gave that to me, and I approached the business administrator and said, you know what? Given that there is talk that Foreman and Highway may be retiring, we need to have other options. We don't have any other tow vendors in the town. What can we do? So we then decided and talked about moving, or what the parameters were gonna be. Somewhere in the ordinance, and I was looking at it, and I can't find it right now. There was something about a storage location within 10 miles of the city. Because a lot of the tow lots here in town, like you just mentioned, are not very large. So if there's an overflow, a lot of places have overflow storage that is not in town. That was 10 miles. We thought that was a bit much because
It would encompass a lot
Mhm.
of.
so we went with the 5 mile, and additionally, there was some contradictory language in the ordinance. One said 5 miles, one said 10 miles.
Right.
So we agreed upon a 10 mile or a 5 mile radius that would include a principal location, which is what Mr. Coyle is saying is 224 for ANA towing. So essentially, what they're doing is the same agreement that Mr. Coyle had with Mr. Molyneux is now what he's doing with Mr. Aiken. So Mr. Coyle's location is not at Aiken's principal business location. That's somewhere else. Similarly to what Mr. Molyneux was doing. His primary.
So his primary location was on Buffalo Avenue. Mullen, Highway Motors, and the overflow lot was across the tracks.
Yes,
And that was in our ordinance, it was legal to do that at that time.
yes.
So what he's saying is not 100%.
No, I'm wondering, that was one of the issues, and that's why that was being done that way for all of those years, because it was sort of a workaround to the ordinance. Because that was the overflow and they did have an agreement. I don't know what the issue was or anything like that. You did mention, and you asked Mr. Coyle if he had ever said anything. No, I didn't know there wasn't an issue, that there was an issue with anything.
So you don't know if Highway Motors ever dropped cars off.
I don't know. I don't know.
That would be clearly a violation of the ordinance, correct?
No, it wouldn't.
Why?
Why would it, why would
If
it
the
be?
ordinance states the car is supposed to be towed to a lot inside the city.
It doesn't say that.
Yes, it does.
You show me that, because I believe they have primary and then storage locations, the storage location can be, that's or did the.
Then why?
Janice,
Why would it be 5 miles?
She just explained that though. But you can come up again.
No, I understand what you're saying. You guys don't put that many miles. There's no
She-
overflow, like, there's no need for overflow.
You just explained why we changed the ordinance.
Yes.
Because the lack of number.
Why don't you have highway go down and make a deal with TJ's and be on the list still and be done with it, then everybody's in the city. That's what this is really about, and I mean, we're gonna call it.
So Chief, if he doesn't use Cornell's, if Highway doesn't use Cornell's lot. And Cornell, you don't have any, I mean, there's not hardly any ever any cars there, right?
There's motors, less than 10 years.
So
There's absolutely.
there should be technically no need for an overflow.
That's the point.
Let's take this to a.
We don't tell no cars you have an overflow.
Thank you again.
That's a 4 lot, property. 200 parking. I mean, it doesn't make sense. There's some more here. I don't get what it is. I don't know why everybody's fighting so hard and tell me.
No, we're not,
It
just,
seems
I'm
that
trying to
way,
pass some ordinance and stuff.
I'm sorry, I know, I'm sure you have more important things like collapsing buildings, but.
Well, there's no underlying reason.
But we
Yeah,
did,
well, that's true too.
we did pass the ordinance.
Right.
We did pass the ordinance. That's the point.
Yes, but he's saying that the other ordinance was in place when they put it.
I agree, that's not right.
Problem was is we had the ordinance. And then once the application came, he never put that application, so then all it's got changed to get voted. That's what his issue is. Why are we all of a sudden changing it? Yeah, I have no idea. That's the whole issue. Like, application was October 1st. It's sort of that agenda that changed ordinance in 16. Then before they-
Seven, same report.
Why is that?
Any report there?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm still trying to process the timeline here. First of all, the Christmas tree lighting in the bazaar was great. Thank you, EDC and MPP and all my people who participated, and especially the fire department and public works. It was a great evening. Also, the house lighting contest is in progress right now. Light up your house, judging will continue until the 23rd. Also, just so everybody knows, we are still working on a dog plan. I know this has been of particular interest for everyone because there has been a lot of dog issues, and we just had one recently again. So just to remind, and Chief's working on this, I think, with the administrator for the new ordinance, educate residents through a campaign regarding safe, secure dog ownership. And I'm just reviewing this. We did bring it up before. And how and walking dogs in public and current ordinances pertaining to dog ownership, effective safety deterrents, including horns and pepper spray. So this is just the educational process. And we need to communicate that information to the residents and make sure that they get it. And that's the important part about registering your dog too. A lot of people have dogs that aren't registered, but if you do register your dog, you can get this information and mail to you because we have your address. But a lot of people do not, and they may not know the rules. And down the road, the code enforcement will look into the current registrations, and we'll try to encourage more registrations. And obviously, we have to update the ordinance, which I think the administrator was working on with the chief. And is that true, Administrator? Chief?
Including our city attorney.
Okay,
Our city attorney had some experience in this that he's helping us out with.
okay, and a couple of things, and I will let Chief talk about that on her report. She's going to plan it. We have a plan for the White Horse Pike, making it more safe, slowing down traffic. It's been a real problem. I mean, I think everybody here knows that the traffic on the Pike is ridiculously high, and their speed limit is high. So we have to do something about that. And Chief's on that. Also, I spoke to the chief. We've also had a lot of accidents within the city, crazy accidents. And I think at one point in time, we did take measures to put more stop signs in, especially on St. Louis Avenue. And we discussed at one time putting some on the side streets, which would be Arago and Beethoven. No, Arago, no. Yeah, Arago, right? Didn't we just talk about that?
So we talked about potentially,
And
talked about potentially, we're talking about St. Louis right now, or
All of them.
So we talked about potentially adding stop signs all the way up the intersections, at the halfway point on each side, east and west of Philadelphia Avenue. So for example, on the east side of Philadelphia Avenue, or of St. Louis Avenue, having stop signs all the way up the streets on, I believe we talked about San Francisco Avenue. So that way, having there be four-way stops at every intersection at San Francisco and up. So Ergo, Beethoven, Berger, Camp Claudius. So that way it creates a bit of a stop. Instead of having it be a speedway all the way from St. Louis to Raymond. And then similarly over here on this side, having it be on Washington Avenue with their stop signs all the way up so that it's not a speedway. So creating four-way stops at the intersection of all of the intersections of Washington and the east-west streets, and then San Francisco and the east-west streets. That's something that we discussed potentially curb speeding through town east-west.
Because it is really bad, and we did put, I know we did put stop signs on St. Louis, a couple, but I personally believe
Yeah, but,
that they should be on every.
but wasn't, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Ryan, when we had those stop signs put in, wasn't there a reason we could only put a couple because of something with the traffic lights or something like that with the?
So, yeah, the purpose of installing stop signs cannot be the express reason of slowing people down. It has to be for pedestrian safety improvements, for functionality of the intersection, for limited disability, sight distance.
Yeah, I think it's
There's a
all the
number of
above.
reasons that you can put in. Well, right, so you're supposed to study the intersection and determine what is, the safest configuration. If that is a four-way stop, then that's what you do, and if it's not, then you don't. On St. Louis Avenue, yeah, I believe we did every other.
Yeah, we went every
For
other
the
block.
Bridge,
Yes.
because the kids walk over the bridge.
Well, that
That's
stop
the
sign is always
And
been
then
there.
every other, just
Correct.
to give people a place to cross, at least every
Correct.
block. It stops them. So yeah, that's what we determined on St. Louis.
Mhm.
There's other corridors we'll look at, we can go through. But yeah, they.
Well, and
for those.
For the purpose of time,
Mhm.
I would refer this to the highway committee, DP, or the highway, DPW. And talk
We
about
don't
that
have
with,
highway
with the chief,
DPW.
DPW.
I-
So.
I have
Having a
three
highway.
spanking new stop signs, just tell me where to put them, and that's how
Do
easy
you have
it
any,
is.
any speed bumps? Because that would be my.
No, I don't have speed bumps, I just have stop signs, yeah.
Again, instead of debating it.
I just wanted to bring it up.
Tell me where to put
And,
stop signs, we'll put
I
them.
think.
I mean, with
think
Philly
that-
Avenue being a county road, are they gonna allow us to do that?
Oh, whatever. Yeah,
East and west of
Oh,
Philadelphia.
I got you.
Waste route.
I got you.
That way,
Mhm.
yeah. So, once they.
Oh, yeah, you're lying.
Once they pass St. Louis, it's full bore down to wherever they're going.
Scatter outside in the audience to a minimum.
Yeah.
So, all right, so that's what we're working on, and,
Is there somebody else?
No, I mean, here out in the audience, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to ask that you respect the conversation and everything that's going on here. And if
I thought you said the hallway.
If you have conversations, you need to have, take it out into the hallway.
Yes, please.
all right, so
What's
we're
your-
gonna, we're gonna work on that. Chief knows exactly what's in my mind, even though I can't get it out, but you know exactly what I want, and we talked about it. So she's welcome to meet with the Department of Public Works and the Administrator to discuss that, and don't forget the Christmas parade this Saturday. Step off at 6 o'clock. It starts in front of Rittenberg Manor. Actually it goes a little bit down Claudius and then to Rittenberg. And finally, I wasn't here the last meeting, so I just want to thank Steve and Ingrid for their service to the citizens of Egg Harbor City and wish everyone a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and Happy New Year. Thank you.
Thank you, man. Mr. Wright?
No.
Nothing?
Mm-mm.
Mrs. Galloway?
Nothing. Can I have his time? No, I'm only kidding.
Yeah, you can have it.
I'm only kidding.
2 months to make it.
Mrs. Hesse?
Your safety committee, I just want to say the safety committee concerns have been addressed as per risk management. I also want to say that on the Egg Harbor City webpage, under the Public Works, you can find links to report potholes. As you probably already know, Egg Harbor City has state roads, city roads, and county roads. So on that site, they have each one and you can just click on it and report the potholes. So just so you know, 30 is state, 50 is county, and the rest, I don't know if there's any others. Please correct me.
Yeah, Moss gonna do.
They're all county.
Mm-hmm. Raymond, Amber, I think Amber's county too, yeah. Yep. Yeah, it splits Malden.
And the rest are city.
Can I ask where those reports go? They go to
Right here.
DPW?
No, not all of them. The one, actually, well, Jerry probably put it up there, but the state highway, you click and you go right onto the state website. The up one takes you right to the county, and Jerry has the Public Works Department number on there as well.
So this is on the website?
It's on the website underneath, underneath Public Works, so everyone knows. And that's all I have for safety, but the code committee, as a result of Jerry's direction and the collaboration he established between the police department and code enforcement, the department has made significant strides this year. The accomplishments made were rental inspections and increased considerably. Online scheduling for annual and rental inspections is now in place. Online bill play for annual rental inspections are also in place. The landlord notification letter was updated to include fines for failing to schedule yearly inspections, along with new online service options. Decision was made to remain with the current software company. Implementation for city-owned trash toters. Enforcement of house numbering requirements. And there's items that they are currently working on. And that, as you just heard, were the demolition of the properties that were abandoned and dangerous. And also they're working on landscaping requirements for new builds prior to the issuance of a CO. I just wanted to say, I'd like to thank the residents and the businesses who are doing their part to support Egg Harbor City's Shines initiative by maintaining their properties in compliance with city codes. I would like to extend my thank you to everyone who is doing that. Businesses alike, not just the residents. It all makes a difference in the way Egg Harbor City is presented to the rest of the community. It helps businesses as well if the community is inviting and clean. That's all I have to say for code and Rotary. I have nothing to say for the Rotary. Thank you.
Thank you.
Council President, real quick, did you
Yes.
think we had a meeting for the stop sign for safety?
No, highway and the chief.
No, I was just,
No, not safety.
no, I didn't know, and I was making sure I didn't miss a meeting, because I was gonna say, I didn't get an email.
You can to discuss.
I got you. I got you.
Okay, Councilor, Mr. Timbers, you have license ordinance, land use board, and airnow.
I have nothing to report. Only say that land use board, they did have a meeting. However, I wasn't I didn't vote. So that'll be something like open Ryan will address.
2 minutes.
Yeah, just to adopt the minutes.
Yeah. Thank you.
Because he wasn't there for the original.
No.
It was a zoning issue.
Yeah, the original thing was be there and then never vote.
Mr. Doty?
There was no Public Works Committee meeting since our last meeting. There was a discussion by email and telephone calls endorsing the hiring, which is on the resolution list tonight, of a full-time laborer in the Public Works Department. That's all.
Is this Clark School Board?
Just that the winter break starts on Tuesday, the 23rd, goes through the 5th. So there will be many kids out there, and if it snows, even more. So that's it, just to be careful of the children.
Okay, thank you. Number 9 is our well, for finance redevelopment, we've had numerous meetings over the last month. We've met with potential developers for the Egg Harbor North. We've met with Renault, formerly called Renault. about a management contract with them. And everything looks promising. There's a lot to negotiate, but we have some real good potential projects in the queue. So we look forward to that going forward in the new year. So number 9, we have Chief of Police report.
Some numbers for you. So since we last met on November 13th to now, we've had 1 burglary call, 2 incidents of fraud, 1 simple assault, 13 thefts, 29 motor vehicle accidents, 14 pedestrian stops, 186 traffic stops, total of 91 citations issued, 3 DUI arrests, then 39 overall arrests, that's including the 3 DUIs, 6 business alarms, 4 residential alarms, 213 crime prevention activities, 3 militia calls, 15 domestics, 48 EMS incidents, 6 firearms activity applications, 16 follow-ups, 700 checks, and 15 public service calls. I would like to thank everybody who did donate for Shop for the Cop. We had, Holiday with Heroes. Do not want to not include our firefighters and our military and EMS. So it was a great time. There will be thank you letters coming forthcoming. We did just get some information and some photos from EHT PAL, but it was fun. We were able to do something very special thanks to our fire department. One of the children that was selected was unable to actually go shop on that morning because she recently had surgery. So what we wound up doing is I spoke with PAL. They did provide me a gift card, and I was able to get another gift card for her. We took the fire truck and took Santa to her house and gave her the gift card after Santa made his appearance at the tree lighting. So I'd like to thank EHT PAL and of course our wonderful fire department for helping to make that happen. And of course, anybody who did donate, thank you very, very much. The smile on the kids' faces is priceless, and you know, it's a good time. Except for the people who are shopping at Walmart and donating.
Wally World.
So the mayor already mentioned the tree lighting in the bazaar, very, very successful. I was very happy to see as many people out there raving for cold because it was cold. I had on my snow pants because I was not going to be free. So thank you to everybody who made that happen. One thing that the mayor did mention is some crash statistics or some crash information. So one of the things that Atlantic County has been in the forefront of, and that state, other counties in the state will be following our lead, is we did the CARES program. I spoke about that before, where it was an initiative by multiple municipalities to attack traffic issues on areas that were identified as high crash areas and high speeding areas. We were out here on the White Horse Pike between Galloway and Hamilton on one of those dates. It was a total of 6 dates where there were multiple officers from multiple jurisdictions. They did a total of 660 car stops throughout the county on those 6 occasions. So, you know, during, I believe there were 4-hour stints, they would do 100 car stops during that time period. So there were a total of 529 citations issued, I believe. It's very small, I can't see that. But so we are going to be continuing that throughout the next year. We've also started to discuss in our chief meetings the potential of doing something similar with grant funding from the Highway Traffic Safety Association for micromobility issues. We've discussed that before with e-bikes, with scooters, that kind of thing. However, each of our municipalities, it's a different beast for, you know, the micromobility issues in Brigantine are different than they are here. So, but we're looking to do something like that. We will be continuing on with the CARES initiative to address traffic safety for motorists as well next year. We have slated another 6 designated time periods. You will see enhanced traffic enforcement over the next holidays, over the next few weeks during the holidays. We have officers who will be out doing drive sober, get pulled over details. So, you know, we are working towards trying to keep our crashes down to a minimum. Some stats for the year. last year was a really, really bad year, for fatal crashes. There were a total of 637 fatalities through motor vehicle crashes in New Jersey last year. This year, and this was only up to December 2nd, we are at 528. So it's lower, still not low enough, but that's what we're looking at. So we have seen an increase in meaningful traffic enforcement to decrease the number of fatal crashes. Fortunately, Atlanta County was number one, either number 1 or 2 last year, which was horrible. And this year we have managed to decrease that number, thanks to, in part, our initiative as the chief system station to do this CARES thing and to attack it as a multi-jurisdictional issue. So that's pretty much all I have for you. I know it's been a long meeting. I would like to say, please don't drink and drive. Everybody be safe during the holiday season. Uber is a wonderful thing. It's wonderful.
And a lot cheaper.
What's that?
And a lot cheaper.
Yeah. Why? But yeah, so we do have our Christmas parade coming up. I know the BEC works very hard on doing that. It's gonna be a great time. Hopefully the weather will hold out and we won't get rain. And if it is going to be precipitation, I said this soon.
You know.
Sorry.
All right.
Flurries.
That's good.
Chief, I have a quick question. Were you able to find out if state police still does tac packs or no?
I have not found out if they still do tac packs. That is something that I will be researching in the new year to see whether or not they will come out and do that. Unfortunately, they too are seeing, well, I mean, we're pretty good right now in terms of staff, but the rest of the policing world, it is
different story.
You know, the applications are not as high as they used to be, and so, but yeah, so I think some of their specialized units are less. But we will absolutely talk to them and see whether we can get some more improvement out here.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chief.
Yeah.
CFO,
Nothing.
City Clerk,
Nothing.
City Administrator.
Thank you. So I'm sorry I was late. Today was my final day in Hamilton, working there. I am happy to report that they did send Jody a check for $20,000 for my services this year. We are currently juggling $27.5 million in grants, and I will not be returning next year, which is good for me. I do want to also thank Jody and Councilperson Galloway. We did get a tree grant amendment of up to $25,000 a year for my work and my responsibilities on the tree grants, because it does take some time out of my week. It takes time out of every week, and so we did apply for and get some reimbursement out of that grant. So that's very encouraging, and appreciate the Hispanic Access who's helping us manage that grant. We did complete the clamshell application at the Archway Green today. We are doing upgrades at the DEP's request at our DPW facility. And we had a great one thing, Joe, for finance and redevelopment. We had a great Brownsfield meeting where we were able to really show them that we're moving forward and that we're very active in trying to get some of these brownfields taken care of. I think they've given us probably, or approved probably close to $4 million already. So for the dump site over in the industrial park. And that's it. Sorry, I'm a little unprepared. I had a busy day.
Okay. Just to add to that, we had a little walk on the main street today to meet with the ACEA and some people from the state to talk about what's next after the MPP goes away. And so it was a good conversation. There's a lot of options out there, a lot of different things that we would have to do. And Triad was there too, so we can work through Triad to find something to support that. So we'll keep everybody informed of that. Number 13 is.
I got a question, if you don't mind. Spring is coming up. I don't know,
It's not even winter yet.
I know, but I gotta think about spring because
Okay, thinking about spring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the football field. The football key rec, all right? That football field has not been seeded in probably 8, 9+ years. There's holes throughout that field. There's,
Practice on Chicago.
no, the main game field. Is there a way or some company that you might know that can give us a price that we can get it done? It's way overdue. I'm just afraid somebody's gonna get hurt.
Sure, Gary does it every
No.
year.
They haven't done it in over 8 years.
There is a company that does sports fields in Hamilton.
Mhm.
And I could get a quote presented to mayor and
Mhm.
parks, and rec and see what there is.
All right, yeah, because the problem has been seeing, and, I've talked to one of the key rec members back and forth, but they keep allowing a flag football program to play on there from March till July.
So if it hasn't been done, in a few years, it would probably require some core aeration.
Right.
Some top.
Exactly.
Dressing and then seating on top.
Yeah, exactly.
Shouldn't that be done now, though?
That's why I'm bringing it up. No, it's the spring, like February, March. Yeah.
Their season is in the fall anyway. So
Oh,
I'm not
okay.
too worried about
So they'll
that.
get growing
Yeah.
season.
Right. So, I mean, maybe I could touch base with them and maybe get the flag football to move over to the Chicago field, which is our practice field, and just stay off the field.
In the
until-
spring?
Yeah.
Same,
Yeah.
sure.
And then, that way by September, you'll be up and ready to go.
It would probably
That would be
be a
it.
3-week prohibition of playing.
Yeah.
And then it would kind of come through.
Well, if we got it done, I wouldn't have the kids on it until
Till-
at least that's the end of August,
Okay. so
September.
before summer.
Yeah, just to let it,
I certainly know people have reconditioned fields in the past.
okay. But if that's something you can keep in mind, I mean, it's been, like I said, it's been overdue. And
I'll get a price.
we've been stealing dirt from here and going around with a tamper and trying to fill holes in tamper, and then you go to line the field on Friday night and the sprayer tips over because you hit a freaking pothole. Oh. Yeah,
Okay, thank you.
thank you, Jerry.
Number 13, city attorney. Report.
Nothing to report on.
And number 14,
Engineer. Sure, just gonna do the active stuff. The lake and campground improvements, we still have not heard from the Finance Commission. We're hearing with them in early October. We have, the restroom portion of the design has been done for a bit, and then with no end in sight here, we split that off. We gave that to Triad and ZCA to get their approval to bid just that portion of the work. That portion of the work doesn't require a permit. So as soon as we have DCA sign off, we're just gonna bid the bathroom upgrades, and that way we can clear that.
You think that's gonna be done by the season?
Yeah, I mean, it's only a 30 to 45 day construction contract, so if we get approval to bid in January, we're in February, we get finish in March.
Existing structure, right?
Yeah, it's the existing bathroom, just interior improvements, removing some fixtures, maybe. Right now, there's 2 toilets, but they're practically touching each other. So that's the campground, city hall ADA improvements. Number 26 on the agenda tonight is to recommend award to Maxwell Construction. They're actually the ones who did the Archway Green project. So we're certainly comfortable working with them. Land cabinet pedestrian improvements, we have an extension on tonight's agenda. Again, still trying to work with plans, trying to figure out how to get through their nitrogen stormwater management rule. Orleans Avenue subdivision, we're still working to try to get that filed, so you guys can get that advertising, get them sold.
Is it at the county now?
I believe so, yes. We just had to get it re-signed. Need to make some amendments based on the county planning board requirements. So we anticipated going originally, so we had to update our plan. So, but that is now completed. For the I-Bank project, we are still awaiting direction from DP. We enlisted some help from some other people up there. To try to get things moving since we've been installed since past March. And they've done everything but guarantee that they will make sure that we really need to be to qualify for the six funding, which would mean that we are awarded before June 30th. So make sure we stay on track for that. D Student Street, we're still waiting to hear back from DOT. The primary reviewer was on vacation for like a month to India. So the guy that was in his place gave us the same question that we had already asked before he left. We know that we answered it. So I just reached back out to him again the other day, but he just got back and is trying to get through a little things, so. I expect that we'll have approval to bid that and be able to get that out to award in January. We're not gonna go start construction till March anyway, so not a huge loss, but we do need to make sure to get that in place for, January. On the backside, the QREC improvements, just trying to get some things into that. The brownfield redevelopment area, as Jerry mentioned, we did have a good meeting with them the other day. There's a lot of funding committed. We're working with Jeff on getting a survey and wetlands delineation proposal together for him. And then separately work on the HCSR applications for the Gateway site. We sort of talked about potentially removing some sites depending on, what the city's goals are going forward. So I'll have to sort of circle back and figure that out. Other than that, that's all I really have.
Okay, appreciate it.
Sure.
Any questions?
I do.
Good.
The key rec field,
Yes.
any like timelines, anything like, cause I gotta get this stand going and I can't, it's like, this is the time to do it. It's not like they can pass it in April and I can say, oh yeah, go ahead. Do the stand now, it's football season now, we're a whole nother year.
Yeah, you're gonna need time. So I'll reach out to the commission and try to see what we could get on that portion, because it by itself, it's probably small enough that you could do it without have trees from around the requirements. So I'll talk to them about whether we split that off or whether they just allow us to proceed with that, understanding the room with the application.
Okay.
But I'll reach out to them.
All right. Thank you, Ryan. I appreciate it.
Sure.
And I have a question.
Yeah.
Did you find anything out about the crosswalks and what the resident here came and asked about to go across the White Horse Pike? The crosswalk that you push the button and it lights, stops.
Yeah, so the push buttons, you have to make a request into DOT for them. They have like a whole criteria that they go through. I mean, I think we had some of that discussion when they came through and ultimately we landed on new crosswalks, but not push buttons.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know that it would be the criteria, but the only way to find out will be to submit a formal request for them. So likely move forward with that.
I mean, I feel it's a good thing. I'd like to bring it up to the rest of the council and say, what is it?
I don't even know if those things work. How many times you stand there?
To be honest with you, Northfield has one.
Yeah.
And there's ones in Summers Point and stuff because of the huge bike path that goes from Northfield all the way down to the end of Summers Point. They do work. Basically, they push the button, the light, lights always blinking yellow. And then when the bikes come close, it'll automatically, you don't even have to push a button. Smart ones now that you don't even push a button. They just censor how many feet away from the street they are, and then all of a sudden it goes red, and then you got to stop. So.
We have smart lights on the pike.
So they upgraded lighting as part of the project. I don't believe that there's any smart features to them. They're just photo cells. My guess is that if we asked for caulk installations, they would probably do like the flashing yellows. I think they would add full stop control.
Right, I got
in
you.
between Philadelphia and.
I got you.
Yeah. But I
don't think so.
Right. Yeah, I think they'd be very well. The flashing yellows, there's a few in Epsecan too.
Oh, yeah.
Hippie and Jersey.
Yep.
So I mean, they're certainly out there. I just don't, I don't know whether they'd be open to, I mean, it's possible they do like one in the middle, but again, we.
Right, it wouldn't be across the whole area.
Yeah,
It's
you wouldn't
over
put it
by
intersection.
Lingos and that, wherever the, people.
Based on the chief's report, it might not be a bad idea to ask.
But are
Yeah,
you talking
and
about
find out if they
like,
do
because I'm confused.
Yeah,
First it was
I think the
Philadelphia and
intention would
St.
be
Louis.
to cross Route 30, in between St. Louis and Philadelphia where there's not stop control, because there's lights at those two intersections.
Right.
But in between, there's 3 blocks where there's
Mhm.
nothing.
And that's
I-
where
I-
the
activity
is. The chief mentioned at one point in time that you can't have lights on there, right? On the pike.
They'd be too close, but.
Well,
The flashing
yeah,
light.
we can't install.
Yeah,
We can request.
Yeah, the state
to
would have to do it,
evaluate
yeah.
whether they would be appropriate to install. So yeah, I mean, we can make the request and then they'll start that process. We can always say no later.
Right.
Right.
But then we just got to get the people to actually use the crosswalks because out of everybody that lives there, you might 1 out of every 100 actually use cross at the
No.
corners.
Do it, but
That's what I'm saying. Some, not many. I mean, there's been times they just jaywalk right across the streets. They don't use the crosswalks. And
Figure if it's in a place where most people cross to go to Inflingos, I thought that might.
It's good to have at least as an option, but I mean, like I said, I can coordinate with Jerry, we can reach out and make the request. The worst case, yeah, exactly. The worst case scenario is they'll come and study it and say yes or no, and at that point, we could say, hey, we change our minds, or yeah, please.
While you're talking to him, ask him about the dips and.
I'm sure that's a different
Yeah.
group, but.
I did have one other question. I don't know if Ryan, it would be for you, it would be for Jerry, but the lights at the smoke shop, again, I know Jerry, you ended up getting the meter.
I'm sorry, yeah.
Oh, great.
Coming after the meeting.
Terrific. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I'll let you know tomorrow.
Thank you.
You really need a meter for that?
Where
Yeah.
you see that, yeah, you don't really.
Mason, I have to stand on the sidewalk and then face the meter to see what the light is reflecting at the sidewalk. That's how the code reads.
You can see that thing from Mars.
Yeah, let you know what it is. Yeah, I'll let you know what it is.
Yeah, I'm sure not. Blind by the time they even get there.
That's a pretty good concern.
Probably that was the reason that they did that, because that was a place that was, we had quite a few armed robberies prior to that, so.
Saying to remove,
So I
remove them completely, just tear them down, I mean, they're.
That's why I brought it up.
I have a number 14A, Jerry. Resolution regarding the Egg Harbor City Beach Lake and campground.
I don't have it in front of me.
There you go.
Read it.
I don't have a 14A.
Speaking about it.
Is that something we wanted to bring up tonight
Yeah.
or not?
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Doesn't want any.
Okay.
So
Oh,
I'll
okay.
be reading this into the record.
Did everybody get a copy of it?
I don't have a copy of it.
Actually, I guess it's white.
Something that's-
I don't know what happened.
It's not on the agenda, it's the now.
There's no more.
So this is a resolution regarding the Egg Harbor City Beach Lake and Campground, whereas the current operator of the Egg Harbor City Campground has expressed a desire to discontinue the current agreement in place with the city of Egg Harbor. And whereas the City of Egg Harbor Finance and Redevelopment Committee requests the city attorney to prepare a management agreement with Renault Winery FBS LLC for the calendar year 2026 with multi-year options. And whereas the City of Egg Harbor agrees to authorize the Finance and Redevelopment Committee, City Administrator, Chief Financial Officer, and appropriate staff to discuss the management and operation details with Renault Winery FBS LLC. Now therefore be it resolved that the City of Egg Harbor maintaining ownership of the Egg Harbor City Lake and Campground provide the best experience for residents of Egg Harbor City and surrounding patrons. Continue to improve and support a valuable Egg Harbor City.
Gary, could you read the names of the people that are supposed to be involved? Now, I know I read it, but I wasn't.
The Finance and Redevelopment Committee, that part?
And go ahead.
Finance and Redevelopment Committee, City Administrator, Chief Financial Officer, and appropriate staff.
Okay.
Really
So
anybody.
appropriate staff.
Anyone else
I
that you may
mean,
think.
since I pretty much ran the whole thing, my name should have been mentioned.
Oh, so, and
And
the mayor,
also-
and the mayor, of Egg Harbor City.
And also the Lake Committee, because we do have a Lake Committee
I
too.
didn't know that.
And that's my fault, because I
That's all right.
should have.
I'll do that.
Can we get emailed a copy of that so we can read it also?
Mayor, it's just called the Egg Harbor City Lake Committee.
It's on the committee sheets. Like, you want to read the names, Joe? Who's on? It's in front of you.
I give him.
The committee.
Oh, and the Lake Committee? Mrs. Hesse, Karen Luca, Laura Shaw, Jody Kahn, Jackie Young, and Meg Steve.
Okay, all staff members, right?
So that would just not, it would probably be worthwhile just mentioning the Lake Committee.
Okay, so this third whereas is the City of Egg Harbor agrees to authorize the Finance and Redevelopment Committee, the Mayor of Egg Harbor City, City Administrator, Chief Financial Officer, Egg Harbor City Lake Committee, and appropriate staff to discuss the management and operation details with Renault Winery, FBS LLC.
And just to simplify this is not an agreement with Renault at this point.
No.
This is just to authorize those people
Yep.
to negotiate a potential contract that would have to be brought back here to the city council and
So what are you trying to say?
that this is the result of an RFP that was sent out to numerous potential six different businesses, and it was advertised appropriately.
It was authorized by this
And
council.
actually, so we're going through those RFPs that came back, and we met with Renault and we think they're the best.
Did you get any other back besides Renault?
No,
No, just for now.
Can we get the email a copy of that
Sure.
Tina, so we can also?
we will make sure. This is not agreeing to anything other than being able to negotiate with them a potential contract.
Is there a reason why this wasn't on the agenda ahead of time?
Yeah, because we met with them this week in the agenda. So,
Okay, I'll rephrase that. Is there a reason why we weren't given a copy of this prior to this meeting? It's 8:30 and we're just reading about it.
I don't know the answer to that. Other than
Does anyone know the answer to that?
it was last.
First time hearing about it.
Was it on the stuff you send out, Meg?
No, it was an add-on.
Oh, okay.
It was done after.
What's that?
I said it was done after the agenda. A lot of times we have. Sometimes.
But the basic,
It wasn't done.
I think, I don't wanna, keep this meeting going too much longer, cause I'm hungry too, but. This isn't anything being done on sneaky or anything, I'm not accusing anybody of saying that, but. I've been doing this lake for free for 17 or 18 years. I've been running it, before the other Parks Committee got involved with the campground, I was handling that with whoever the manager was. This is just a management contract to see what we can get a manager like we did with the campgrounds, which now he doesn't want it anymore. So we need someone to manage this place for us. We've come a long way. The lake looks beautiful. But we have a long way to go.
And just to add, and maybe this will answer part of your question. And we're in a time where it's December 18th.
Yeah, it's gotta get
To
done.
get something going, we have to have some kind of agreement with them, where we're gonna have to pick up the ball like we have been doing.
I'm not saying I'm against it.
I'm not saying that either. I'm trying to answer your
It's just a
question.
time, a squeeze
I
of
didn't get a
time.
copy. I think it was put together quickly so that we could get it on this meeting to where we authorized the committee and the people that were mentioned to be able to negotiate a contract, a potential contract that would come up before council and be presented at that point.
Cause we usually start in
It's a
February.
timing
Yeah.
thing for getting the lake up and running because there's so much that has to be done.
We
preliminary.
bring it up like at the end of the
And
summer.
if they're not gonna do it, if they're not gonna be our partner in this, we're gonna have to go back.
I understand what you're saying.
So that's.
My only question is why weren't we all notified? That's all. That was my only question.
About the resolution.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
We were just gonna bring it up under the administrators committee report. However, we said, well, let's put something in writing, and it probably just got to be too late to get it out, so. That's what happened.
But it's real exciting. They have, I don't know if you've been out to Renault lately, but their whole theme is like nature and wellness, and they want to incorporate that area into what they want to do. So, because we have a good history with, with the tannic, the water, the tannins in the water is supposed to be blah, blah, blah. So, it's gonna be good if it's, if it can work, it's gonna be good.
Okay, so that, there's a resolution, is there a motion?
Motion.
Motion made and seconded. I'm gonna take a roll call.
Clark,
Yes.
Dash,
Abstain.
Dovey,
Yes.
Galloway,
Yes.
Heist,
Yes.
Hesse,
Yes.
Keener,
Yes.
Timbers,
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, motion passes. Number 15, a resolution for budget transfers.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Questions on the motion? Roll call.
Clark,
Yes.
Dash,
Yes.
Dovey,
Yes.
Galloway,
Yes.
Heist,
Yes.
Hesse,
Yes.
Keener,
Yes.
Timbers,
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Resolution passes. Number 16, hire full-time laborer, Department of Public Works. Is there a motion?
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Questions on the motion?
Are we gonna have a meeting or are you just gonna handle that, Jared?
Well, it's
The
got.
guy that works there.
We
Okay.
really haven't had any meetings all year.
gonna
That's
be
what
on-
I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we had several meetings of Public Works Committee.
When was the last meeting?
Last meeting was when we did the hiring for the public works.
Yeah, like in
Uh,
February.
As I pointed out earlier, we did not have a meeting on this moment. We had a recommendation from the administrator in early November to move forward with this person going from part-time to full-time because of somebody else being out and not likely to be coming back, who was full-time. And that there was a staffing issue, and the recommendation was to move forward. And that was shared by email.
Yeah, I understand all that. Yeah, but my question is,
And I,
the way I'm reading this is hire a full-time labor. It's not saying promote a part-time job.
You can't do that. Have to-
we're hiring a.
Oh, okay, I got you.
It was temporary.
So then we gotta hire, once they go up to, or whatever moves up to full-time, we're gonna hire a part-time.
No, basically, we had to change his status to temporary seasonal because he's working 5 days a week because we were short 2 people.
I got it.
that.
Alright,
So you can't promote a seasonal to full-time.
Gotcha.
You can Promote, so I had to change his status.
I got
In
you.
order for him to work 5 days a week, I had to change his status to seasonal.
Gotcha.
Temporary seasonal.
Okay.
Okay, seeing no other questions, roll call, please.
Clark,
Yes.
Dash,
Yes.
Dovey,
Yes.
Galloway,
Yes.
Heist,
Yes.
Hesse,
Yes.
Keener,
Yes,
Timbers.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
resolution passes. Number 17, I would ask this particular resolution to be tabled. For the reason that I met with the chief last night, and he would like to take this before the default and talk about it at a meeting that's coming up next week.
I'll make a motion, we table.
I'll second it.
Okay, motion made and seconded. Roll call, please. Oh, no.
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution passes to 2. Okay, number 18 is authorized RFPs for engineer services for 2025 ADA improvements to the scene.
I make a motion.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Is there questions on the motion? Brian, just want to give a quick reason why we're doing this.
Sure, you're funding a portion of the engineering from the grant, so when you do that, DCA requires you, the federal requires you to put out an RFP explicitly for those services for that project. So you have to advertise for it, obviously we'll respond to it, you make other responses, you'll select whoever you deem most qualified. It's not a price-based RFP necessarily.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Clark,
Yes.
Dash.
Yes.
Dovey,
Yeah.
Galloway,
Yes.
Heist,
Yes.
Hesse.
Yes.
Keener,
Yes.
Timbers.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, resolution passes. Number 19, renew property lease between the city of Egg Harbor and Key Rec Incorporated.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made second. Questions? Roll call, please.
Clark,
Yes.
Dash.
Yes.
Dovey,
Yes.
Galloway,
Yes.
Heist,
Yes.
Hesse.
Yes.
Keener,
Yes.
Timbers.
Yes.
Right.
Resolution passes.
Yes.
Yes.
Is that right?
I didn't think about it.
Okay.
I didn't say.
All right, resolution accepting the terms of contract entered into by the South Jersey Power Cooperative for natural gas.
Motion.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Is there questions? Roll call, please.
Clark. Yes. Dash.
Yes.
Dovey,
Yes.
Galloway.
Yes.
Heist,
Yes.
Hesse.
Yes.
Keener,
Yes.
Timbers.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Resolution passes. Number 21, resolution adopting filmmakers code of professional responsibility. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Second.
There's a motion seconded. Jerry, could you just explain this a little bit?
Sure. Egg Harbor City is trying to become a film-ready community, which would allow the New Jersey EDA and the Film Ready group in the EDA to promote us as a film-ready community, be able to basically welcome people to the community. There's 5 distinct steps. One of them is training, which has been completed. The second is that the mayor has to appoint a liaison or someone who becomes the film-ready liaison. Then there's the formal process, which this is the formal process. It's a code of conduct. It could also be an ordinance. At some point, there may be an ordinance replacing the code of conduct, but right now the code of conduct is before the council. Then we have to upload at least 8 locations to their free web-based marketing tool and have 5 businesses basically commit to being able to serve those individuals who come and do film here in the community. So, and I thought it was a great idea for us to become film ready now, since we have a film studio coming online at some point, and so it's a great opportunity for us.
And you attended.
It only took 5 hours of my life, and that's really
Jerry,
the lead.
is it a stipend position for the liaison?
no.
Well, how do you do that then? Like say, it should be someone at City Hall,
It should be someone at City Hall. It should be.
that should be stipend.
It should be probably someone who you appoint annually, right? So it might be something where if we look at powers of the mayor, maybe just, this is brand new, like it's a brand new thing. We've never had a film liaison before. So we gotta figure that out.
But
But
what
it
I'm
could be
saying,
stipend.
it probably should be someone at City Hall, and that would require stipend.
Maybe put it into the ordinance when we have an ordinance, because right now we don't have a fee schedule. We should create a fee schedule. There's a recommended fee schedule. Maybe put the annual appointment mayor and the stipend in the ordinance. This way it's codified.
And I did have a comment.
Good.
I had suggested earlier today that, we have, and I add an item 16, but maybe it could go into the ordinance
Cool.
that. That their plans for safety in the area where they're filming should run through the police chief. Or he should, sign off on it. I've been on film sets
Yeah.
and. You cannot get near those actors
Yeah.
and they have to keep people away and people want to see them. So it does create a lot of activity. One, like if it was done on the avenue, so I think the police would be,
They bring a lot.
and they
lot
would
of
be,
equipment, right? They bring a lot of equipment
yeah,
as well.
they basically shut down the sidewalks and they.
Most of them have their
A
own
lane of
security.
traffic or something, not a lane of traffic, but where the parking places are, if they're gonna do something like that. But, and they should be willing to pay the duty rate for the police.
Right, so the off-duty rate is already codified, right? That's already set. Okay, that's good. But there should be an application fee, there
Yeah.
should be a stipend for a film.
They pay mutual money.
Something.
So that should go in the ordinance.
Yeah, it probably should go on.
And I would also put in there, because sometimes the Cedar Creek kids, their clubs go out and do movies. There's one group that is gonna make another one soon. That I think that if there's any fee, that should really be, there's really shouldn't be a fee for Cedar Creek.
No, it shouldn't be for those kids. 18 and up, or
The film-
basically,
Film recommended fee schedule has that provision in there.
Okay.
It has that provision in there. A student 18 or younger type of thing
Mhm.
has that.
okay.
So I'll show you that when we get ready. Obviously, we can't introduce an ordinance.
Mm.
Okay, motion made and seconded, roll call please.
Clark.
Yes.
Dash.
Yes.
Dovey.
Yes.
Galloway.
Yes.
Heist.
Yes.
Hesse.
Yes.
Keener.
Yes.
Timbers.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah,
Resolution passes. Number 22, refund street opening bond.
I make a motion.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, questions? Roll call please.
Clark.
Yes.
Dash.
Yes.
Dovey.
Yeah.
Galloway.
Yes.
Heist.
Yes.
Hesse.
Yes.
Keener.
Yes.
Timbers.
Yes.
Right.
yes.
Motion passes. Number 23, approval to submit NJDOT time extension for the award of the LA-2023 SST Egg Harbor City Transit Path Extension Phase 3, fourth extension to February 15th, 2026.
So moved.
Second,
Motion made and seconded. Questions? Roll call.
Are we shooting for 10 here?
And I know.
Yeah.
I just said the same thing under my breath.
I do have one question. Where is this phase going to?
This is the extension of the path along Atlantic Avenue that.
Where is it going?
Asphalt pedestrian path going down to Raymond and then up Raymond to bus stop. And then at the other end, down Atlantic to New York Avenue and then up formerly New York Avenue to the bus stop
Mhm.
there. So you have a full loop from the bus stop all the way at New York and Route 30 up to Atlantic, all the way down to Bremen, then up to the bus stop there. So you have a nice circulation route.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Clark. Yes. Dash.
Yes.
Joby.
Yes.
Galloway.
Yes.
Heist.
Yes.
Hesse.
Yes.
Keener.
Yes.
Timbers.
Yes.
Okay, number 24 is the one pertaining to towing, which we have talked to people here about. Hey, is there a motion?
Motion to table.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The resolution has been tabled. Okay, number 25, we already approved. Table that. And number 26, resolution to award a contract, Egg Harbor City Municipal Building ADA improvements, R Maxwell Construction Company. To award.
No moved.
Second.
Motion made second. Is there questions?
I have a comment. I saw all of the bids, tabulation shows that the two bids were very close. So
I
that's
saw.
good engineering.
Okay.
Clark. Yes. Dash.
Yes.
Doby.
Yes.
Galloway. Yes. Heist.
Yes.
Hesse.
Yes.
Keener.
Yes.
Timbers.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
The resolution passes. Number 27 is LEAP Implementation Grant, Thermoplastic Traffic Line Striping, Hand Cart and Thermoplastic Traffic Line Striping. KEP.
Motion.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Is there questions?
Is this for Public Works?
It's for the county. It's like a you can sign on with the county to do it.
Okay.
Like,
Can we
you
just
know
make
how
sure-
we did with Atlantic City when we were gonna use their pothole machine?
Right, let's just make sure nobody with an allergic generation is drawing our lines, that's all.
Fair
We
service.
have quite a few with them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, roll call, please.
Clark. Yes. Dash.
Yes.
Doby.
Yeah.
Galloway. Yes. Heist.
Yes.
Hesse.
Yes.
Keener.
Yes.
Timbers.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Resolution passes. Number 28, a resolution supporting an amendment to the Atlantic County Solid Waste Management Plan endorsing the expansion of the ACUA landfill at the Howard Fritz Heineman Environmental.
Motion.
For a second.
Second.
Motion made in second. Questions?
Is this where it is now?
Yeah, it'll extend the life of the landfill 11 years.
They'll be adding more to it.
But
I don't
it's,
know if it's gonna get wider.
it's going to get
It's
higher.
taller.
Pretty good.
I don't think he'd go higher.
Have they,
I was at his max.
I know there was a lot of complaints about the odor in the area. Has that been addressed and taken care of?
I understand that.
Not going down the parkway.
That's what
I'll tell
I,
you that.
Yeah, the odor's still there.
Mr. Doty?
But odors are addressed, odors never go away. Landfill smell,
Mhm.
sewer plant smell,
Right.
they've been addressed and that's part of,
To the best.
that it can be done.
Okay,
Thank you.
Let me just add, the option is not extending it, and then trash will be shipped to Pennsylvania to a landfill. Much more expensive. So for the taxpayers of Atlantic County, ratepayers of Atlantic County, this will provide savings going forward.
Okay, thank you.
all in favor of the resolution?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution passes. Okay, number 29 is a public hearing on ordinance number 20 of 2025, amending the code of the city of Egg Harbor, chapter 235, streets and sidewalks, and adding article 7 titled tree removal and replacement. Is there a motion to hold a public hearing?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, the public hearing is open. Is there anyone that wished to be heard on this particular ordinance? First call, second call. Is there a motion to close the public hearing?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The public hearing has been closed. Is there a motion to adopt?
Make the motion. Second.
Motion has been made to adopt. Roll call.
Clark.
Yes.
Dash.
Yes.
Joby.
Yes.
Galloway.
Yes.
Heist.
Yes.
Hesse.
Yes.
Keener.
Yes.
Timbers.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, right, ordinance passes. Number 30, public hearing on ordinance 21-2025, amending the code of Egg Harbor City, chapter 235, pertaining to Article 1, snow and ice removal. Is there a motion to hold a public?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? A public hearing open for ordinance number 21. Anyone wish to be heard? Seeing none, is there a motion to
I'll
close?
make the motion.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to close, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Public hearing closed. Is there a motion to adopt?
The motion.
Second.
A motion made and seconded to adopt. Roll call.
Clark.
Yes.
Dash.
Yes.
Joby.
Yes.
Galloway.
Yes.
Heist.
Yes.
Hesse.
Yes.
Keener.
Yes.
Timbers.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, ordinance 21 has been adopted. Number 31, pay the bills. So
I just have a statement. The, one of the items in the bill list is, A Academy Animal Control. I think we should hold off paying them because they're not fulfilling their contract.
I agree. I definitely agree with you on that one. Matter of fact, 402 on the White Horse Pike has an awful cat problem, and I called it in before. That whole street, what is it? Did we say it was London? London. That whole street is loaded with cats. Loaded.
I called them last month and told them about skunk issues in Night Terrace under the city-owned jail. And also some cat issues. And I was told that they do not trap wildlife, nuisance wildlife.
Yeah.
We're working on the wildlife issue for next year. I mean, I don't know how much we can really do with the current contract, but.
Yeah, but the current contract does state that they will trap nuisance wildlife and skunks in people's garages, in their backyards, smelling up the yards is definitely a nuisance. I spoke to them about a little bit over a month ago. I notified Jerry and the mayor about it. Also, and I also called them again today, or yesterday I called them again about some cat issues. And I was told they don't trap cats in the winter, which is what they were saying last year. That also violates their contract. So I don't feel comfortable voting to pay them if they're not doing the work. And both times when I called, I was told that Chris was on vacation, so nothing would happen until after January.
The
they're
reason
not-
the reason we got them, because they were so cheap. We were paying at one time, $900 a month? And I think theirs is now 7 something. That's true. So it's quite pricey, but you know.
Okay.
That's
okay, we can turn this over to a committee to discuss and meet with them and have some kind of resolution to it. So the question is for the bill list. Are we gonna pay that bill or not? So so when you do we're gonna do roll call. Say yes or no to the paying the bills and yes or no to pay.
I don't know, can you not
Can you do that?
That's what I was gonna say. You put Jody in a kind of bad spot not paying.
Well, we're asked to,
I know what you're saying. I understand completely where you're coming from.
no, so
Yeah, I understand completely where you're
I'm
coming
not
from.
saying don't pay them at all, but I think there should be a conversation before we pay them.
When she doesn't say anything, that's not a good thing.
Yeah.
That's not people, there are issues with them. We just told them that we were renewing the contract for next year, so.
Well, maybe we should take a vote of no confidence and then not renew the contract.
We can handle that separate.
Yeah.
Okay, so roll call on the bill list. Which will include that, but we can talk about that.
I'm okay with that.
Good.
Clark. Yes. Dash.
Yes.
Joby.
Yes.
Galloway. Yes. Heist.
Yes.
Hesse.
Yes.
Keener.
Yes.
Timbers.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, bills are paid. Number,
No, you're good.
Approved it, they're gonna.
we're gonna have to.
Mail them the check with the post-it saying, see me in the office.
We'll take it on the finance committee. And we'll meet with them. We'll have
Heart to heart. It's too late not to relive. Is it too late not to relive? But that's all.
Okay, Mayor, comments?
I said everything, but just if you do have a wild animal problem, I think we have Jim Petty's Wild Animal Service. Just a joke. We had giant swans at the lake one time and it turned out well.
Mike, you got it.
You also had a skunk in your pullover.
We did, and he lost the battle with the swan.
Funny story.
Yeah, you heard the story, right?
Mr. Wright,
Nothing.
Ms. Galloway?
Yeah. My dog was skunked twice in the last month. So there's skunks in my neighborhood. I think they're under my neighbors.
Oh, they're everywhere.
I just wanted to say thank you to Ingrid and Steve for their time on the board. And welcome our new guys who are coming in January. And ask everyone to send me stuff for the newsletter for January. And just, I don't know if everybody here realizes the ordinance that we just passed will relieve homeowners of the responsibility of taking care of their street trees. It's now the responsibility of the city to take care of street trees, which means that the people in this town do not have to spend thousands of dollars to remove a street tree. If they do remove a street tree, they will be fined because they're not their trees. They're now the city's trees. And these grants that we got are addressing 30 years of neglect. Because the last 30 years, in 1995, the city abolished its shade tree committee and put the onus on the residents. And the residents did not take care of those trees, which is why they are in sad shape right now. So since we got those grants, we have expended already $427,000 to remove more than 167 street trees. And we expended $51,000 from state grant for the inventory and things like that, prep work for our future next 3 years. So for the next 3 years, the city will take care of the trees. Residents don't have to do anything. What we will do is after the first of the year, we will have information on our city website or on a separate website. We're going to discuss that on how to request service for a tree, how to request you would like that tree to come down, how to request planting a tree outside a house. All that stuff will be put on a website so that it's interactive with the public and we can have, a better relationship regarding the street trees. So other than that, I just wanted to say happy holidays, happy new year, and I'll see you January 5th.
Please don't plant one of my house.
Mrs. Hesse?
Better call, you gotta tell us.
I'll cut it down. Find me.
It be fine.
I'll pay it. I'll pay it right now.
I just had a question actually for Jeets. And I wanted to know, as far as if I see any dogs running loose in town, is there a certain number that I should call? Or where should I, what should I do if I see a dog just running loose in town?
609-625-769 emergency police line.
And they will-
just roaming around.
Yeah.
Not, actively attacking anyone.
Right.
Call this back.
Okay, just call that. And the only other thing I want to say is everybody have a great holiday and a really happy new year.
Thank you. Mr. Timbers?
So Ingrid, you were always great. I mean, if I needed some help, I would call you up. If I needed to vent, I could call you up, and I appreciate that. Dash.
Discussions on the difference between may and shall.
Oh yeah. True. Dash, you're a person of integrity. You're a person you're someone I know I can always count on. If there's something I have, my dog, if I say my dog's
And why do we
coughing up, I call you. And you always got an answer. So for that, I want to say thank you. And what you did for me, I know you did for everyone in the town, and that should always be recognized. Mhm. And happy holidays, happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Christmas. I don't want to leave anybody out. If I did, I apologize. This has been a great day for some people. Some people today, they may not feel, they may not feel the best. But today and the rest of the month, holidays, it's a time for families coming together. It's time for us spreading our own wings and arms wide for our neighbors. I'm always going to remember that movie Groundhog Day, when after he had done it so many times, he finally got through it by helping everyone in that tank. He was getting everyone, a guy had a flat tire, he would help. A guy needed to eat, So this time of year, I hope we all have that mindset to help as many people as we can. Happy holidays.
Amen.
Mr. Debbie? I would like to thank Ingrid and Steve for their service to the city. I've learned in the last year, it's a little more difficult than it may appear. To others, nice working with both of you. Wish you good luck. Hope we can continue to interact and work for the betterment of Egg Harbor City going forward. And wish you the best.
Thank you.
Thank you. And happy holidays to everyone. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Thank you. I'll go to you, Mrs. Heist, and let Ingrid and Steve talk last.
I just want to acknowledge Councilman Dash and Councilwoman Nieves Clark on their years of service to our city and thank them for their dedication, fairness, and unwavering commitment to our residents, whether they were two-legged residents or four-legged residents. I will miss you up here, but know that the friendships we have formed through our endeavors will forever be there. Happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, and Happy New Year to everyone.
Thank you. Support.
Where do I start? I'm not gonna cry this year. So first of all, congratulations to Cedar Creek football on securing the Group 3 state title at MetLife Stadium. That was a wonderful, exciting game.
And not to cut you off, I don't care what that paper says, that's their fourth.
That's their fourth.
They just didn't call state titles. We got robbed.
Yep. Great job to Coach Melody, the rest of the coaching staff, the players, my son, the booster club, the families. This year's motto was leave no doubt. And I will definitely say that they left no doubt as to their program and what they could achieve. It was a great time to be a Pirate for this entire season. Crusaders wise, we are holding a fundraiser with a partnership with the Philadelphia 76ers. The game is going to be March 15th, where the 76ers will face the Portland Trail Blazers. Tickets are $40 with a portion of the ticket sale going back to the Crusaders. More information will be on our Facebook page and how to purchase those tickets. And finally, thank you to the citizens of Egg Harbor City for allowing me to serve you for these past years as the first Latina to hold this position. It has been an honor to serve with past and present council, as well as the mayor. It's definitely a learning experience and something that will be going into my memoir coming soon. Happy holidays. I will see you soon and cheers to everyone.
Thank you.
Mr. Dash.
I'll keep it brief since sometimes I go on and on. So this is my last night sitting up here on the council. I'm sure some people will be sad about that, and I'm sure quite a few people will be happy about that, especially my wife. I'd like to thank everyone that's helped me along the way. Councilman Dovey made a good point. It's not an easy position up here. I had I served 2 terms. I learned a lot. There was a lot of people that helped me on the way, so I want to thank them. I met a lot of great friends. There's friends in the audience that are out there now. I appreciate everyone up on council. So thank you very much for everything. And just one quick last thing. Well, first of all, Merry Christmas to everyone and happy 5th night of Hanukkah and happy Kwanzaa. But also, I'm leaving here as council, but my main gig is still animal welfare. And if the city has any need of any expertise in that field, feel free to reach out to me, my office, my cell phone, my emails, however you want to. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you. I actually saved myself for last because, just to start with you, Steve, we didn't really know each other well when I first came up here. We still don't know each other that well, but I found out that as Carl said, you have integrity. And, there's things that we disagreed on, but we found a way to work it out.
Absolutely.
And I appreciate that. And the same thing, Ingrid, you and I are very not acquainted that well, but I enjoyed working with you up here, and I know you have the city at heart, and that really matters. So, and I've been in your positions, I've lost my seat up here one time as the councilman, and it hurts, because you put the time and the effort in, and it's something that you said, how could that happen? But you served well, you served professionally, and we appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
And even though we won't be on council anymore, we'll still be neighbors.
Absolutely. Yep.
And I also want to say Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to everybody. Open to the public. Anyone wish to be heard? Any comments?
I will be super quick, I promise.
Okay.
My name is Karen Adams, men will be know me. I am an NPP coordinator. I live on Boston Avenue. I have a whole bunch of other stuff. I just wanted to say, as this is the 5th year of the MPP grant, it is coming to an end. I just wanted to say thank you to council and everyone who has supported me in the last 3 years. I'm very proud of everything the MPP grant has accomplished. I would love to see it go for more years, but that's the way of the grants. I really do hope the city gets more grants and keeps on with the improvements that have been happening in town. Thank you all for it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else wish to be heard?
Oh, there goes the neighborhood.
Hi, my name is Kelly. Just want to say I'm looking forward to a good year. Looking forward to, so as far as being told on those empty lots, cleaning up our city and taking care of those collapsing buildings. Happy holidays, guys. And Jerry's doing an awesome job. Keep it up.
Is this you?
No.
It's Ingrid.
You're
welcome.
And all you guys, Especially you. You get home. I'm sorry. For the night and the other thing. Totally doing an amazing job. And Karen, you too. I love, like, one of these days, I gotta get to the, mostly when it gets warm up. But definitely, please hold on to that. Okay, guys.
Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else? Seeing none, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?